We've all been there. Finding an interest in riding, getting super hyped for a motorcycle that we want, and one of the first sources to hit is YouTube and finding every bit of content on it that we can. And then we end up binge watching every video available, finding awesome YouTubers we subscribe to along the way, and developing a mild obsession for the small portion of their life they decided to share with us. And then we fantasize on one day having our own motorcycle just like that, but living through them is enough until then. And I think many of us can agree that we're thankful for those that take the time to show us what it's like to own or experience things of interest before we do. And at some point, when you finally do get that motorcycle you really want, here's why you should consider documenting your journey and sharing it. Let's talk about it. Before we move on, if you like this type of content, consider sticking around by subscribing, and of course hitting that thumbs up button if you enjoyed something out of this video. And if you already have subscribed, Bicasso loves you. Now, we're going to take it a bit back to 2017. I had just bought my 2018 Indian Scout Bobber. And before I bought the Scout Bobber, I had an idea that involved attempting to document as much as I can on owning that motorcycle, and of course all the experiences from the moment I bought it up until the time I parted ways with it from an untimely accident. And during that period of euphoric bliss that was owning the Indian Scout Bobber, many of you became routine viewers in watching how my relationship with the Scout Bobber evolved. I documented the first 500 miles break-in, the first oil change, installing the infamous trash slip-ons, taking it off-road for the first time and throwing mud all over the paint, countless photo shoot runs. Then eventually washing it and showing the bobber in its beautiful bubble-studded glory. Also, I showed its quirks and features and taking it on backroad adventures. It was amazing riding that machine, and I miss it. And a lot of you shared that sentiment with me after parting ways with the bobber. And many of you eventually went on to buy your own Scout Bobbers or decided that the Scout Bobber wasn't for you and ended up choosing something else. But my contribution to the community came from simply recording my journey as best as I could in hopes that someone out there would get value out of my experience. And just like recording the fun times, there's value in sharing less than stellar moments like recalls or bike servicing. Documentation from the beginning gives yourself a baseline of the motorcycle, of course, and allows you to keep track of your growth and progress as an individual. Okay, I'm gonna go get the WD-40. And it allows others to see your pitfalls and hopefully not make the same mistakes that you did. And ultimately, it all leads to the spark of something new. Or you could be like us and end up with a brand new, stuck Victory Magnum in the mud.
I can't come back. Push it back. Push it back. And then get a rubber stop. Hopefully you got beautiful footage. Like a big old boat. That might be a no rule.
100% my idea, and we had just picked it up that day. But blame it on me, people. Blame me. And then we ended up with a brand new stuck Indian Chieftain. Same situation. Wasn't my fault that time though. And there are more intimate moments with the Scout Bobber and some of my earlier bikes I wish I could have captured more on camera that now only exist in my memory. But I truly believe that documenting my stories and you documenting yours possibly can sell a moment just as journalism does. And if I could go back in time, I would document more of my early riding stories and encounters, because our experiences are a window of opportunity for others to learn, and many of us have stories that would benefit the community. Just like how I messed up and bought a motorcycle without test riding. While that was controversial, many people got value out of it. And the hope would be, of course, that you gain something from my experience and use it to build your own foundation in however you plan to use the information. But now, since you know why I feel that documenting is important or can be beneficial to others, let's talk about ways to do it. It's simple. You don't need the latest GoPro, audio, or fancy camera equipment to do it. You only need your voice and be willing to tell your story in some way. And if you go the YouTube or Instagram route, of course you'll need some type of camera, But the type of tool to document shouldn't be the focus, but more emphasis should be on the story and not letting the moment slip away. Like this moment when I was asked to vacate an empty parking lot I was filming.
Causing a problem down the road. Yes. I can't be up here? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'll leave now. Okay.
My bad. I thought it was okay. It wasn't. Learn from my mistakes, people. She was cool about it though. But don't miss the smile that the adventure gives you, and how your motorcycle makes you feel like a kid on Christmas every time you take a look, or how sitting in the seat and grabbing the bars feels like the first time all over again. Even if in my case it means running through the rain to get your motorcycle out of the storm. Share that moment anyway and inspire someone. And it's more than just one person's story. It's about everyone around us as well. Capturing the moments that others have is just as powerful as showing your own. The relationships we build and rides we take together along the way show just how vast our motorcycle webs run. How the love of riding, fellowship, and reaching new boundaries together gives us the joy of being able to look back on that epic experience one day and talk about it when we meet again. Like the time I rode through the Mojave Desert at 120 degrees on an Indian Chieftain that wasn't mine on Route 66 on the way to Vegas.
How you doing, man?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
How you doing, Chris? Burning. Guys, it is hot. We still got like 100 and some miles to go?
I'm into it. I'm ready. Aim for pleasure, buddy.
He's just here.
I'm loving it.
J-Fast is just ready for it. How you feeling, bud? How you feeling, bud?
Great. I can't taste my face.
On the strip and back with lifelong friends that I met through this very platform. I'm proud of that adventure and being able to capture some amazing moments, and I'm sure they all are too. I think many of you out there can relate with the idea that stories inspire people, moments inspire people, and also experience inspire people. So share your moment with us and show us what it's like to live through you, even if only for a few minutes. But yeah, if you have a cool story to share, drop it below in the comments. And hit that thumbs up button to show your support, and of course, subscribe. And I'll catch y'all on the next one.